So in this episode, we're talking about whether or not Evil Dead the video game will be in VR. Let's get started. So as you all know by now, Bruce Campbell has officially announced that Evil Dead the video game is coming.
Because we're actually doing the Ash game. We're doing the Evil Dead at fully immersive game.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%.
And yes, Bruce Campbell will be doing all of the voiceovers.
I'm doing every line of dialogue in it.
That's awesome.
Because we're not going to farm that shit out. There's no way.
But due to a lot of interviews, people have been speculating whether or not this will be in VR, due to Bruce Campbell consistently saying,
A fully immersive game.
yes, that's right, fully immersive video game. Now, a lot of people could speculate this and simply say that fully immersive is only done in VR. However, you could also go on to say that any video game is technically fully immersive once you become engulfed and surrounded in that game and you kind of lose focus on reality because you're so in tune with the game, such as something like Grand Theft Auto, which is an open world game, which could technically be argued for fully immersion. However, recently Bruce Campbell did another interview and there was a video. Let's take a look.
Fully immersive game.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Yeah, that's right. Bruce Campbell just went fully immersive, as in VR. Now, I'm not really sure if he was just doing hand gestures as talking and just kind of said fully immersion as in it's surrounding you, but I'm 99% sure that was just a clue to let us know it will be in VR. Now, don't get this confused with the Evil Dead video game that's already out there in VR.
Ah! What the hell is this? What am I hitting? Get away from me!
Now, that Evil Dead VR game is more of like a quick run-through video game that you would have found on a smartphone 5 years ago with VR added to it. This is actually going to be a full-blown video game. Now, again, I'm about 98% sure that was just a clue to tell us that, yes, this will be done in VR. I know a lot of you think, well, this is VR, I don't have VR, this sucks. And most of you are saying, this sucks because you don't have VR. I think if this ends up being in VR, it might be time to get it. Because I've done VR a shit ton on this channel, especially horror games such as Paranormal Activity. You're gonna turn around and kill me or some shit, aren't you? Yes, you are. It's me! I'm the I told you! I fucking knew it! Exorcist.
This is creepy as...
Oh shit! Oh, it's a naked baby on a ceiling! Oh, it's a little hooker! It's a baby hooker! Where'd it go? Those games are fucking incredible in VR. And in case you're unaware, if you're new to this channel, I was doing a bunch of horror VR games about a year ago, and it took me months to get back into console and PC because you're so engulfed and it's like actually being involved in the middle of the video game in VR that it becomes so much harder to go back and play console. It's kind of like if you were playing Xbox 360 or Xbox or even N64 and then tried to go back to the NES or Atari. It might be fun to go back to every once in a while, but it's very hard to go back to it after you've already experienced something like VR. And no, I'm not talking about VR in the sense of your smartphone, you know, where you put your little smartphone into the device and you look at it. That's a very two-dimensional, no-depth, very simplistic graphic version of VR. It's nothing like the Vive or currently the Vive Pro, which of course if this ends up going into VR, I'm gonna have to get a Vive Pro now because I want the best experience possible and I want to be able to show this in the best way I can. Now, as you could tell, I would be fucking stoked if this was in VR. I mean, I've been asking for Evil Dead in VR since 2018, where I pleaded to Bruce Campbell at the end of the series finale for Ash vs. Evil Dead to please give us the end of this show in VR. We could actually be Ash. We could have the chainsaw and the boomstick. Become Ash in the end of the entire Evil Dead saga. I think that would be the absolute most brilliant, greatest way to end this saga. If we were actually Ash. Or you could go the route where you're actually one of the trainees, like the old Ghostbusters game from 2009 on Xbox 360, and you kind of get trained, kind of like Pablo or Kelly. However, I would much rather be Ash and end the whole saga by actually becoming him in a fully immersive VR game. Now, I think that this would be absolutely incredible. I couldn't think of a better freaking game to come out in VR, period. But I want to know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Would you be excited if this was on VR? Would this actually make you want to go out and purchase a VR headset? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification box if you don't. You will know if I have kick-ass shit such as this. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up because 100 likes on this video will get you another Evil Dead video on this channel. And don't forget to check out theslasherclub.com where you'll be able to view all the behind the scenes for these videos and skits that I make on this channel. You'll also be able to see select videos 1 week early and a whole lot more. So don't forget to join up over at theslasherclub.com. Also don't forget, merch link down in the description below. Eat, sleep, / repeat the 4 essentials for any horror fan. And don't forget to join us at Discord because that's where we all have a kick-ass time in there. And as always, I'll see you next time.